Yo, I need every single one of you to sit down right now because what I am about to reveal is going to fundamentally shatter everything you were told about the Rihanna shooting. Her husband just came forward. He went to the court, submitted documents, and inside those documents is an email, a haunting, bone-chilling email that this woman allegedly sent him 6 full weeks before she allegedly drove across the entire country and unloaded an assault rifle into a property where 3 babies were sleeping. And when you hear what that email actually says, you are going to realize this was never a random act. This was never some spontaneous psychotic episode. The words she chose, the deadline she gave, the ultimatum she laid down, it reads like the opening chapter of a premeditated nightmare. But that is not even the part that wrecked me. Because after she was arrested, after the cuffs went on, after they pulled a loaded Springfield Armory rifle and 2 30-round magazines from her car, this woman looked at the officers and said 5 words that absolutely nobody is talking about. 5 words that could either save her or bury her in court. I am going to play those 5 words for you and break down exactly why prosecutors might be losing sleep over them right now. Do not click off this video. I am dead serious. The ending of this breakdown contains a detail so disturbing that major outlets are deliberately avoiding it. Let us get into this. So let me reconstruct this entire nightmare from the ground up, because the deeper you dig into this case, the more it feels like a horror movie that nobody bothered to pause. On Sunday, March 8th, broad daylight, 1:20 in the afternoon, in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in America, the Beverly Hills post office area, gunfire erupted outside Rihanna's $13.8 million estate. Not some random drive-by. Not gang activity. Not a domestic dispute next door. A woman allegedly parked outside the gates of Rihanna's home, extended what authorities later identified as a Springfield Armory AR-15 style assault rifle through the window of a white Tesla Model 3 fitted with paper license plates, and allegedly squeezed the trigger over and over and over again. At least 20 rounds allegedly tore through the afternoon air while 8 human beings occupied that property. 8. Let me name every single one of them, because this is not a statistic. This is a family. Robin Rihanna Fenty, 9-time Grammy winner, the woman who built Fenty Beauty into a global empire, the icon from Barbados who changed music and fashion forever. Her partner A$AP Rocky, born Rakeem Athalaston Mayers. Their 3-year-old son Rizza. Their 2-year-old son Riot. Their 6-month-old daughter Rocky Irish Mayers. Rihanna's mother. And 2 household staff members, one of whom was a nanny stationed in the 2nd floor nursery directly above where bullets were allegedly impacting the exterior walls. A bullet hole was allegedly found on the outer wall of that nursery. The wall between a 6-month-old baby and a rifle round. Think about that for 1 second. 2 degrees of trajectory difference, and this video would have a very different title right now. We would not be breaking down court documents. We would be mourning. The suspect, identified and now charged with 14 felony counts including attempted murder, is Ivana Lizette Ortiz, a 35-year-old licensed speech pathologist from Orlando, Florida. And the inventory recovered from her vehicle upon arrest tells you everything about how calculated this allegedly was. The Springfield Armory rifle. 2 30-round rifle magazines. 7 spent casings from the scene. And a wig. A disguise. Paper plates on the car specifically designed to prevent identification. She allegedly flew cross-country from Florida to California, allegedly acquired or transported a military-grade weapon, allegedly conducted reconnaissance on the property, allegedly chose the exact time when the family would be home, and allegedly brought a disguise to conceal her identity during the attack. That is not a breakdown. That is allegedly a blueprint. But here is where this whole thing detonates into another dimension entirely. Her estranged husband just blew this case wide open. Part 1. The email that proves everything. Jed Nico Valdez Sangalang, Ortiz's estranged husband, submitted documents to the court over the past week that contain what might become the single most devastating piece of evidence in this entire prosecution. According to filings obtained by TMZ and corroborated by multiple outlets, Ortiz allegedly emailed Sangalang on January 26, a full 6 weeks before the shooting, And the message allegedly reads, quote, "I need you to renounce Rihanna and confess that I am better than her. Let it be done. You got to let me know so that door can be closed." End quote. Read that again. Slower this time. Because that email is not the ramblings of a person in full psychotic freefall. That is an ultimatum. That is a woman giving her husband a deadline and implying that if he does not comply, something is going to happen. Let it be done is not desperation. That is a decree. So that door can be closed is not a plea. That is a warning that a conclusion is approaching, and she is the one who allegedly decided what that conclusion would look like. Now here's the question that haunts me. What did Sengalang do with that email when he received it? Did he call the police? Did he forward it to family members? Did he alert anyone at all that his estranged wife was exhibiting this level of fixation? Because according to his own statements, he did not even learn about the shooting until Monday, a full day after it happened, when journalists started calling him asking about Ivana. He claims he tried to shield their child from the news, but another kid at school told his child first. Imagine being 10 years old and finding out at recess that your mother allegedly tried to assassinate one of the most famous human beings on the planet. That psychological damage is irreversible. Sengalang has since petitioned for full custody and sole decision-making authority over their child. And honestly, given what allegedly unfolded, that seems like the absolute bare minimum response. But I need to pull on a thread that nobody else is pulling. Why Rihanna specifically? Why did Ortiz allegedly need her husband to renounce Rihanna of all people? Was Sengalang an obsessive fan? Was he constantly playing her music? Was he following her career in a way that triggered Ortiz? Or, and this is the theory that has been gaining massive traction online, was there a delusional architecture inside Ortiz's mind that constructed some imaginary intimate connection between her husband and Rihanna that never existed in reality? Because here's what several online communities are now speculating, and I think this deserves serious consideration. The theory suggests Ortiz was not obsessed with Rihanna the musician. She was allegedly obsessed with Rihanna the symbol. Rihanna represented everything Ortiz allegedly believed had been stolen from her. The perfect family. The wealth. The beauty. The adoring partner. The empire. In this framework, the attack was not celebrity stalking gone wrong. It was allegedly a catastrophic psychological projection, a woman who saw her own destroyed life mirrored in someone else's success and allegedly decided to eliminate the reflection rather than confront the reality. If that theory holds any weight, and behavioral psychologists online have said it tracks with documented cases of erotomanic and persecutory delusion, then this case becomes something far darker than the headlines suggest. Part 2. The 5 words nobody is discussing. Here is the bombshell that dropped this week when the LAPD police report was made public as part of a court filing connected to the California Attorney General's office motion to strip Ortiz of her therapy license while this case is pending. After her arrest in that Sherman Oaks parking lot, after officers recovered the rifle, the magazines, and the wig, Ortiz allegedly declined to answer any questions from investigators. But then, according to the official police report, she allegedly broke her own silence. Quote, "Can I say one sentence? I would like to say that I was not attempting murder. But that is all I wanted to say." End quote. 5 words buried inside that statement just changed the trajectory of this case. I was not attempting murder. Not a denial that she was there. Not a denial that she fired. Not a denial that the weapon was hers. She allegedly confirmed all of that by implication. What she denied was the intent to kill. And in criminal law, intent is everything. Attempted murder requires prosecutors to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant intended to take a life. If Ortiz's defense team builds their entire strategy around those 5 words, arguing she was firing to terrorize or intimidate rather than to kill, it could theoretically reduce the charges. It would not eliminate them. Assault with a deadly weapon, shooting at an occupied dwelling, all of those remain rock solid. But the attempted murder charge, the one that carries life in state prison, suddenly has a hairline fracture running through it. Now, do I personally believe she was not trying to kill anyone when she allegedly fired 20 rounds from an AR-15 at a home containing 8 people, including 3 babies? Absolutely not. But I am telling you right now, that statement is going to become the centerpiece of the defense. Mark my words. Part 3. The digital trail of escalation. This attack did not materialize from nothing. It allegedly built in public view over months and nobody intervened. On January 4th, over 2 months before the shooting, Ortiz allegedly uploaded a video declaring, quote, "Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me? Shut up. She is a witch. She is a witch. I am a watchman. She is a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here." On February 17th, she allegedly published a meme accusing Rihanna of having AIDS. On February 23rd, less than 2 weeks before the shooting, she allegedly tagged Rihanna directly on Facebook, writing, quote, "Are you there? 'Cause I was waiting for your AIDS 5-head self to say something to me directly instead of sneaking around like you are talking to me where I am not at." She was simultaneously allegedly targeting Cardi B in separate posts, boasting about her own superiority. The pattern is textbook escalating delusional grandiosity mixed with persecutory fixation. Public. Timestamped. Platform hosted. Visible to every algorithm and moderation system these billion-dollar tech companies claim they operate. And not one flag was raised. Not one automated report was generated. Not one human moderator intervened. Facebook will shadow ban you for a spicy political meme, but a woman allegedly posting death-adjacent threats against a global icon with a tagged profile somehow flew completely under the radar. Make that make sense. Part 4. The Phantom Passenger and the 30-minute gap. This is the section that keeps me up at night, and I want everyone paying close attention. When the 911 call went out, the dispatcher relayed a description of a Hispanic woman with blonde braids operating a white Tesla Model 3 with paper plates. Standard so far. But here is where it fractures. Separate police radio transmissions allegedly referenced the possible presence of a second individual inside the vehicle. When LAPD helicopter units tracked Ortiz through approximately 30 minutes of Los Angeles streets from Beverly Hills deep into Sherman Oaks, and officers finally executed the stop in a parking lot, she was alone. Completely alone. So where did the second person go? Did someone exit the vehicle during that 30-minute pursuit through city traffic? Was someone dropped off? Did they flee on foot? Was the initial radio transmission a misidentification? Because law enforcement has offered exactly zero clarification on this point, and that silence is deafening. The phantom passenger theory has exploded across Reddit and true crime communities. Some theorize Ortiz had an accomplice who helped plan logistics, including the weapon acquisition and property surveillance. Others believe the second person may have been a rideshare passenger or someone she picked up earlier who had zero connection to the attack and fled in panic after realizing what happened. The radio transmissions exist and the discrepancy remains completely unexplained. Part 5. The Precision Paradox. I coined this term in my previous breakdown, and it has since been picked up by several commentary channels, so let me expand on it. 20 rounds were allegedly fired. Bullet impacts were scattered across the property gates, the perimeter walls, and even a neighboring home. But multiple rounds, according to the police department's own forensic documentation, struck the Airstream trailer specifically. The exact mobile structure where Rihanna and A$AP Rocky happened to be positioned at that precise moment. Not the main house. Not the garage. Not random exterior walls. The trailer. How did Ortiz allegedly know they were in that trailer? Was she watching from the street? Did she have some kind of inside information about the family's daily routines? Because for a speech pathologist from Orlando who had allegedly never visited this property before, the shot clustering on that specific structure is remarkably concentrated. I am not claiming expert marksmanship. I am stating that the ballistic evidence as described in official reports raises serious questions. And Rihanna's own account deepens this mystery. She told detectives she was sitting in a window seat inside the Airstream when she heard approximately 10 violent impacts like something banging on metal. She pulled back the curtain and saw bullet holes in the front windshield. 2 rounds struck the double pane glass but did not penetrate. A third embedded in the side panel. She grabbed Rocky, shook him awake, screaming they were under fire, and they hit the floor before sprinting into the main house to reach their children. That is a mother crawling through a bullet-riddled trailer to reach her babies. That image should haunt every single person who downplays this as just another celebrity incident. Part 6. The system that failed at every level. Let me catalog the institutional catastrophe because the number of checkpoints that failed is genuinely staggering. First, Ortiz was involuntarily committed under Florida's Baker Act in 2023 after being deemed a potential danger. That should have triggered monitoring and firearms restrictions. It apparently triggered nothing because court records now confirm she legally owned the Springfield Armory rifle. Legally. A Baker Acted individual legally purchased an assault rifle. Let that sink in. Second, a family court judge determined Ortiz was unfit to even contact her own child, stripping her custody entirely by April 2024. Yet she remained free to acquire weapons and travel unrestricted across state lines. Third, she had a domestic violence battery arrest on her record involving the same estranged husband who just submitted these court documents. Fourth, social media platforms hosted months of explicit threats against the named public figure and generated zero intervention. Zero content removal. Zero reports to law enforcement. Fifth, the California Attorney General's office has now filed a motion to bar Ortiz from practicing as a speech pathologist while this case is pending. But she has been licensed and practicing in both Florida and California for over a decade. How many vulnerable patients did she treat during her alleged descent into delusional fixation? Sixth, bail was initially set at $10.2 million before being reduced to $1.875 million. Her public defender had the audacity to request $70,000. $70,000 for the alleged attempted murder of a household sheltering a 6-month-old baby. Judge Teresa McGonigal denied the reduction, and honestly, that might be the only part of this system that functioned correctly. Deputy District Attorney Alexander Bott said it plainly in court. Quote, "This is the kind of conduct that could easily have resulted in multiple homicides." That is not commentary. That is a prosecutor telling a judge that 8 people are alive right now by pure geometric luck. Part 7. The human devastation. Behind every court filing and dispatch recording are human beings whose lives were permanently fractured. Rihanna told detectives she has received death threats over social media in the past, but most, quote, never rose to a serious level, end quote. That sentence alone reveals the normalized terror of being famous. Death threats are so routine for her that she has a threshold for seriousness. She could not think of any recent event that might be associated with the shooting. She did not know this woman. She had no connection to Ortiz. She was simply existing in her own home with her family when 20 rounds allegedly tore through her world. This is not Rihanna's first security nightmare. In 2018, a man broke into her Hollywood Hills residence and remained inside for 12 hours before discovery. He pleaded no contest to stalking. The system failed then. 8 years later, the escalation graduated from intrusion to an assault rifle. Where does this trajectory end if nobody intervenes? Rihanna reportedly departed Los Angeles immediately aboard her private aircraft, taking her entire family with her. ASAP Rocky and the children left with her. And honestly, who could blame them? Their nursery wall has a bullet hole in it. Part 8. The Billie Eilish connection nobody is talking about. Before I get to what happens next, I need to circle back to a detail that the internet glossed over entirely. Ortiz once filed a lawsuit against Billie Eilish and Live Nation over an Orlando concert, claiming it caused her, quote, immediate and irreparable harm from noise and traffic. That case went nowhere, obviously, but the pattern it reveals is critical. Ortiz was not fixated exclusively on Rihanna. She had a documented history of allegedly targeting high-profile female entertainers through legal and digital channels. Billie Eilish, Cardi B, Rihanna. Three of the biggest female names in entertainment, all allegedly subjected to Ortiz's escalating behavior across different platforms and different years. Some criminal behaviorists in online discussions have pointed out that this pattern is consistent with what is called target migration, where an individual fixates on a symbolic archetype rather than a specific person and migrates their obsession between targets until one sticks. If Rihanna had not been the one who allegedly triggered the final escalation, would Ortiz have eventually directed that violence elsewhere? At another artist? At another home? The implications are terrifying, and they suggest that the danger Ortiz allegedly posed extended far beyond a single celebrity. Part 9. The upcoming battle. Here's what happens next. Ortiz's preliminary hearing is scheduled for April 18th. That hearing will determine whether sufficient evidence exists to send this case to trial. Given the ballistic evidence, the police report, the recovered weapon, the social media trail, and now the husband's email showing 6 weeks of alleged premeditation, it is virtually certain this proceeds to trial. The 14 felony charges remain: attempted murder, 10 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, 3 counts of shooting at an occupied vehicle or dwelling. But watch for the defense strategy to crystallize around those 5 words. I was not attempting murder. If they successfully argue diminished capacity or reframe the intent, some charges could be reduced. Not eliminated. Reduced. And in a case where the difference between life in prison and a shorter sentence hinges on whether a jury believes someone firing 20 rounds at a home with babies inside was really not trying to kill anyone, every single detail matters. Here's what I need from every single person watching this right now. Drop your theories in the comments, because I know some of you have caught angles on this case that I have not explored yet. Was there a second person in that car? How did she know they were in the trailer? Who helped her acquire that weapon if the Baker Act should have prevented it? And why did 6 weeks of premeditated planning visible to her husband, visible on social media, visible to the courts that stripped her custody, not trigger a single intervention? If you missed my previous breakdowns covering the Tesla Sentry footage analysis, the full dispatch audio, and the 911 call recording, go watch those immediately, because this case only crystallizes when you absorb every layer together. Hit that subscribe button, because the April 18th hearing is going to produce revelations, and I will be the first one breaking them down frame by frame. Like this video if you made it to the end, because the algorithm needs to push this to more people. This story is not getting the coverage it deserves, and these questions need answers. Share this video everywhere, because the families involved deserve accountability from every system that allegedly failed them. Stay vigilant. Stay critical. And remember, the real story is never in the headline. It is buried in the details they pray you never examine. All commentary is based on alleged facts and publicly available court documents. This is analysis, opinion, and entertainment. I will see you on the next one.